Yeah, fellas, I think we just should have just looked for that tree. I reckon that is the walk-in way, because we took the too harder path, I think. Anyway, get back up here. Oh, hang on. Oh God, don't tell me that's a nice, that's not a nice easy way in it from another approach or something. God, but from the other side. Well, I want a nice easy walk down, gentle stroll onto a nice banana stand. That would be nice. And maybe a variant or a brand new species or something. If that would just top the whole year off, I reckon. Oh, there we go. There's that over there in the distance, that bare patch up there. I reckon that's where we go across from there, from in the field of view, from right to left, and that mushroom was on the left hand side there, that big bright red mushroom. I think that's over there, so we walked all the way around there. So I reckon the pool, I don't think it's there now. I think we either that or there's a secondary pool that's not on the map or something. Maybe the pool we discovered is not actually the pool we want to go to. I mean, maybe there is that possibility. Maybe there's an even larger one. You know, that's just like the hiccup that drives, you know, back to something. And that's why the farmer's got his bloody pipes into that one, because the official one that he can't touch is down here or something, you know. The national park thing is down there, whereas that one there is not gazetted or something. I don't know. Anyway, I suppose it's a case of walking along, and as I said, if it was big enough, it would have its own name and everyone would be able to Google it and find it. As I said, it's got to be big enough to be interesting, but not so large that it's got its own colloquial area name sort of thing. You know, they haven't named it like Nutter's Pool or something like that, because as soon as they do that, you can go through old newspapers and brief mentions here, and when they start Googling all the books in the world and things, it's going to pop up on and be cross-referenced with everything, so anyone will be able to find it then, especially if they've got all the Google girls and boys technology at their fingertips, you know. They don't have all this ABBOTTLAND rubbish that I have to go through, you know. I was watching those Ceausescu, oh, there's that other walkway down there, so, oh, okay, that's the path we normally take down, and on the other side is our wet wall, so, I believe so anyway, so, oh, okay. Remember we came back up there, so I don't know, fellas. For a tree that was going down that was very prominent, it's very hard to see and notice from up here. Maybe I'll just take a short stroll down here and see if we can get some bearings, but I don't think we're going anywhere fast at the moment, and it's rapidly we're losing our time. The only advantages we've got is we've got an extra hour of daylight because of daylight savings. The way I think about daylight saving is, why don't you just add on half an hour to everybody all the time? Stop putting it on and taking it off, and just have half an hour added on all the time. So in winter time you got half an hour longer, and in summertime you got half an hour longer. All the time you got half an hour longer. So that wouldn't be so bad for the kiddies in the morning in winter time, for, you know, going off to the bus in the dark. They still have, like, they'd be in what's the term for? Is it twilight, or is that at the end of the day? What's the half an hour or so of you know, whatever it's called, dawn? Is that what it's called? These words that, you know, you used to hear as a child, but you hardly ever use them in your life, unless you're a bloody sailor or something like that. Now when you're having to being forced to use them, they're bloody hard and a bit of a struggle to last through them in your mind. Yeah, I think it's dawn, isn't it? Or is it pre-dawn or something? I know they have got these special names for them, but see that? I think that's that pathway we walk down, and then that off to the side there is our pylon track, I think, somewhere down there. And we want to actually walk in from the other thing up that way. So probably end up going, and that other gorge thing is there where we thought we might find banana down there, but we sort of got, I think we got a bit lost actually. Either they rearranged something or one of the side paths, which was the main path, got obscured or something. We ended up going nowhere fast, and yeah, oh, I don't know. Would have loved to go back to this pool, but and we've got a helicopter in the distance. They're going to come and hover over us, are they? Out there spotting bushfires, or is it Elvis the bomber? Well, look at the tea tree. Usually around the 3rd week of October they're in flower. So they're only just coming into the height of those things. Okay, fellows, I go a little bit further, but I don't want to fall off the edge of a cliff or something. So I'll see how well we go. I just want to go far enough so I can get some sort of bearing. I mean, if it's down there and it's just a little meander, we can just go down to it and walk back out the same way we walked out before. But just taking a bit more note of how we got out so we can get back in the same way like we were trying to do today, but it just didn't seem to pan out. So, yeah. Oh. Getting interesting anyway. It's always getting interesting, which is well, that looks nice. Oh, getting into shade now. Well, it's almost getting down to 45 degrees there, so that's really 55 degrees, isn't it? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's worth, I think it's worth going a little bit forward just to get the vista, fellas. There is something down there. It's some sort of, well, I reckon this is the back end of the pool, which I wanted to go to, but so I suppose we're going to get the answer of if there's anything behind the pool by, even if we don't actually get to the pool today, back to the pool, I should say. But it's very rocky, which is interesting because, you know, wherever the water flows, you know, there could be some channel that's sat there for hundreds of thousands of years. Every season the water trickles through it. It's been sustaining something. I mean, you can't say no these days after finding that dinosaur tree in the bloody national park over New South Wales way. Well, the news of the moment is our bloody LED person got the Nobel Prize. Finally, you know, he does the work basically. He did the real hard work, and they had to give it. They had to spread it around. You know, they couldn't just give it to one person who you know, when everyone else said, oh, you've got to have three. You know, you do a green, and he makes a better green, and then they say you've got to have a red, white, and is it red, blue and green to make a white? He actually comes out just with a white one. No, they have to spread it out, so you know it lessens the impact of the prize in a way. You know, give the man his credit, for God's sake. He may be a total smacking arsehole, dickhead, wanker, cunt, but he deserves it. Okay? Sometimes you just have to say he deserves it and give it to him. Okay? Whether he's got the social experience or social interactivity of an ant, doesn't really matter. He got it over the line. He brought the future into the present faster, and he did it better than you thought you could do. He deserves it. Been waiting. I've had that. I got that book in 2008. We're in 2014, heading towards 2015. What took you so long? That's the whole point of being an intelligent person. You can tell right from wrong. You should have given it to him years ago. Once those white LEDs started making their impact all over the world, have you seen how bright they are? and the fact they look like a bloody piece of stone, and you put the power in it and you're almost thrown across the other side of the room, they're so bright. I mean, the amount of energy efficiency that bloke has given us. Hey, you know, I always go back to the our two brothers who took the plane flight, you know, that in that rickety plane sort of thing, and did it. They were knighted by the end of the bloody month. Both of them were, you know. They both just fucking deserved it. So, you know, that's how quickly you can act when you know. You know what I mean? That's on the end of that was an intelligent person. That's what I'm really saying. You know. Yeah. You don't need to take out that bloody piece of parchment or scroll out of that drawer and reread it all. You know, you should have known straight away. You shouldn't actually be on the board if you couldn't have worked it out straight away. That's what I'm saying. If you couldn't tell that he'd already gone over the line and made the grade, you know, you're not worth your salt, basically. That's what I'm really saying. You know, as soon as I saw that, you know, my dad took this brick of, looked like a bloody sandstone, it looked like, and he put this 9-volt battery to it, and Jesus, I had to go to the other side of the room. They were that bright. So he basically turned a piece of rock into a bloody brilliant light, basically, and I instantly knew he'd won. I instantly knew he'd won. You know, he made such an effect on someone like me just at my dad's place that instantly realised he'd won. And that was, more than half a decade ago. What took you so long? Yes. Anyway, this clip's turned into a bit of a rant, but I think we've all worked out, you know, things aren't quite going quite the way they should in the world, and maybe that's why we've got all this ISIS business going on. You haven't been keeping your end of the bargain, and that's why things are going askew. Yes. Anyway, yeah. Smug giants. Yes, that really does sum it up, I don't think. We're having adverts on our TV showing smug giants. It really just shows you where the country is, where it's got to is heading. I just feel we're heading towards a mini French Revolution. I really do. It can't get much worse than this before, you know. The natives are certainly restless. Yes, it only has to take something that happened with one of our sporting events, and it'll be on. I can tell you. And it might just be the trigger or the start of something worse. So, you know, and I think we need to take a year off and have a good long hard think. I think, you know, what did we like about Australia before it became ABBOTTLAND, you know? Yeah. The land of the fair go, the hard effort, you know, everyone's looking after someone else, you know. If they do fall in the hard times, we look after them, you know. You're always looking out on the people. You may take the piss out of them. I mean, that's the Australian way, but by taking the piss out of them, you're getting to know them better, aren't you? I can't see anything up there, fellas. If I could see the pool on my right hand side or on my left hand side, I'd walk down to it. Maybe I need to walk along a little bit further, and I'll try that. But we'll start a new clip walking along. Otherwise, I'm thinking of calling it a day, fellas, unless I can see it. If I can see it, and it's possible to get. I mean, geez, that's 55 here, which we know is 65 now. I mean, okay, a long gas bag, but I think it was worth it. We're still in ABBOTTLAND and still getting worse. And something's got to give, and it always gets worse before it gets better, you know. I was really worried that we're going to have something at one of our grand finals, and it'd be on. Yeah, it'd be the trigger point for something. Don't know what quite. Beginning of a mini French Revolution, you know, Ceausescu sort of situation. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, over and out for now.